Oh, guys, I am so sorry. It looks like yeah, yeah.
Well, who are you talking to if they can't hear you?
No, no. Now we are live. I guess
Okay.
our first part. The 15 minutes we've been working on this. Guys, I'm
I
sorry.
mean, we should just restart, right?
I mean, if we want
I
to.
think we're gonna. I mean, gonna have to. Feels like
Woo! Hey, still
gonna have
working
to.
out kinks.
Jeez. Oh man. Okay.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
because we have a lot of people saying that they couldn't see it, so I
nobody,
don't
because
know.
yeah, I pulled it up on my side too. I couldn't see anything. So, hey guys,
Hey, there we go.
what's up?
Sorry. So we just recorded 15 minutes by ourselves.
It was pretty good though. It was really good. You guys missed out.
Yeah,
Some good
completely.
content.
Uh,
Jerry took his top off. It's pretty great.
yeah, anything for the views.
The tattoo is incredible.
Big bald eagle.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so we'll just start this over again and I'll edit the video and stuff like that. So
Hello, everyone, and welcome to MeowMix, the Carolina Panthers podcast. My name is Steven.
my name is Jerry.
And yeah, we're here to talk about the preseason finale.
Yeah.
Game 3, Bryce and the starters got to play. And I feels weird doing this all over again, Jerry, but guess we're gonna go and do it all over again. Yeah, Jerry has some thoughts about the offense and a few little nitpicks here and there. Although I think overall we are both quite positive
Yeah, I
on what
do
we
want to
saw.
caveat that I 100% think that was a great showing for the Panthers' first stream or first offense. Now I've got stream on the brain. My only slight negative was I felt like Bryce sometimes held the ball too long, whether it be, you know, going through progressions, either someone wasn't open or him just not pulling the trigger a little bit faster. He did have to dance around a few times. And even sometimes he would go 1-2-3, 1-2-3, and it just felt like he needed to get, going. So
Well, let's reset a little bit here. So the Panthers won this game 31-26 against the Buffalo Bills. First preseason win for the Panthers since 2022. First time they've scored 31 or more points since October 30th of 2020. So it's been a long time since we've seen an offensive explosion like we saw today. Couch it a little bit with the fact that the Panthers were playing against second, third stringers, but I'm not going to couch it too much because they came out, they executed, they did what they wanted to do. Bryce and company got out there for one series. Everyone except Corbett, who had a baby, congratulations. And Damian Lewis, who a personal matter is what they said. So I'm not sure what was going on there, but hopefully he'll be good to go for the regular season. Offensive line, I thought, held up fairly well. Bryce was not sacked. A couple of little pressures here and there, but Bryce handled them well. I thought, again, let we know one word, Jerry, to describe how you thought the offense looked under the Bryce Young series.
well, I like yours better, but I
Well,
kind of
they don't
forgot
know
what I
mine yet.
said, but
You said efficient.
efficient. Yes, thank you. But I did like yours better.
Yes, my word is comfortable. I thought the whole offense just looked comfortable. They looked like they felt like they knew what was happening, right? They knew what happened if plan A didn't work. They knew what happened if plan B didn't work. And a couple of times we saw plan A and plan B not work out, right? We saw
Yeah,
Bryce go through his progressions. We saw pressure a little bit where Bryce would roll out, or especially on that 4th and 3 where he rolled all the way out to the left and hit Deontay Johnson on that perfect pass, squared his shoulders up. Feet work looked really good. Footwork looked really good for Bryce in this game. Tight end, involved heavily.
mm-hmm.
Bryce spread the ball around, 5 different receivers for his 6 completions. So I don't know what more, again, understanding your point where it looked like a little bit he held the ball maybe a little bit too long here and there. I don't know what else you could have looked for positively from Bryce that you didn't see.
Lil Sneeze said that fourth down play is fire, and that was something I discussed. Obviously just to Steven because we weren't live, but said that I was very upset on that 3rd and 6, that little dump off pass, until they immediately went out there fourth down. They already knew it. It was very okay. This is the play to get closer to the first down. If they get tackled right away, we're going for it. We already had the play ready.
Yep.
It seemed like they were thinking ahead. They were ready. They were, it was something this offense hasn't done. It's felt like they were playing complementary to themselves. They already had a plan going forward.
Yeah, and even that plan changed a bit as Corbett wasn't able to play. They had to put the backup center in. Canales said once they did that, he changed the game plan from less under center and more in pistol and shotgun, just to give the center a little bit more of an opportunity to get that ball to Bryce without any issues, right? Mm-hmm. So, I love hearing Canales say things like that because it tells me that he thinks about this stuff. He doesn't just say, this is my offense, we're running it, I don't care who we have, it works, we're running it, like Frank Reich did, right?
The chaos, as Jay just put in.
Right. So this year, we've got a guy who is going to adapt to what he's seeing, right? Adapt to his personnel, to what they do well. I am really impressed by Canales. Again, we haven't seen any regular season games. He hasn't been tested at all. But from what we've seen so far, from what I've heard from him, from the way he's thinking about things, it's just such night and day from what we've had. I mean, really, ever, honestly, from an offensive coach. We've never had this before.
This is our second offensive-minded coach ever in the Panthers' history, and last year was the chaos year with Frank Reich. So it does look different. It feels a little bit different, and I'm hoping it will stay different in the regular season. Now, other side of the ball, I am not going to lie, I feel a little worried about.
Okay, tell me your worries, and I'm going to put you at ease.
The run defense on the first team gave up a lot of yardage to Frank Gore Jr., which, by the way, that guy...
Hats off.
Yeah, what a way. Carl Van brought up that he was concerned about the run defense last week, and I was like, oh, it's not our starters. I'm not that worried. But our starters gave up a 16-play, 61-yard drive to Buffalo, opening it up. I don't know the exact yardage for that first drive, but it felt like Frank Gore was easily able to chew up yardage there. I can't speak, sorry.
What if I told you that Ejiro Evero did not call a single defensive play in this game?
What did they do then? Then who called it?
They let other defensive assistants call the defense.
Well, that's because I have a feeling he's going to be gone next year.
Well, maybe that's so, but would that change the way that you feel about how the defense played at all? That knowing that the primary defensive play caller did not call any plays in this game.
Yes, but it also makes me nervous. Just because
I don't think you should be any more nervous than you already should be about Evero leaving, right? Like that's probably going to happen if they have a really good season. But also Canales only called the first half on offense, and Idzik called the second half on offense. So they were trying a few things in this game, but when I heard that, I thought, okay, well, I'm not going to get too worked up about the defense, right? Because, Evero didn't call any of the plays. Things could have looked a little different had he been the one in charge. I will agree, however, that the defense was not super impressive to me in this game, as they've been the first couple of games where I thought they really looked more locked down, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It was a lot of bend don't break in this game, which is kind of, I think, what we should expect from this defense.
Yeah. That's how it's been under Evero last year too. It was a lot of bend don't break.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that. I'm just nervous, man. Maybe because that was second and third stringers walking the ball down the field, and it made me nervous.
No, I get it. I mean, I get it, but we'll see. We'll see how it looks in the regular season, right? I don't know. Yeah, Sexy Princess Riders right there. We didn't have Horn. We didn't have Michael Jackson, our new probably starting corner. I thought Boodle had a particularly bad game from a corner perspective. Of course, Lamar Jackson gone, right?
Yeah.
As Jay just said, Lamar Jackson gone.
I was like, did you see
didn't
that? Jay typed that up, or
both thinking the same thing here.
Yeah.
But Jay might be a little being facetious there, but I thought Lamar Jackson was a really important piece to the preseason defense, right? Like he was playing really well.
He was playing really well, like so much so that I was not desperate to go out there and get another corner. I mean,
yeah, and Tony, you 100%, man. Chason had what looked to be an interception at first. They ended up calling it off, saying that it hit the ground. It looked like the tip did hit the ground, but it looked like he had full control over it. I wish that Canales would have challenged that interception, because that, I think, would have been overturned. I think that he would have gotten that ball. And you should just do it because he thought that he got it, right? He's going this. Like, it was close enough in the preseason. Mitch, challenge that. Give the guy his interception.
I agree. I think you should have challenged that, especially with overall, just the general feeling for the team of, hey, you got our backs. And it's something that he needs to learn too. I mean, that's
right.
What
and he may have wanted to see something on defense that he hadn't seen yet, so he didn't challenge it. Like thinking, okay, I'm getting more defensive snaps here. That's really what matters, right? But I think that's wrong. I think that's the wrong way of thinking in that particular instance. I think you show the guys, like you said, that you've got their back, you believe them, and you want to reward them for that type of play. So yeah. I don't know that anyone asked him about that in the press conference. I wish they would have. But I 100% agree. I thought that made sense.
Yeah. Quick little chats before here. The Sexy Princess says, if we beat New Orleans week 1, I need to buy a jersey with Canales' name on it to eat crow. I don't think I was that negative on Canales, but I just more I guess maybe I'm burnt for bad coaching.
Yeah,
that I'm just
you were not super impressed with the hire. We'll just say that.
Oh, I mean, when it first happened, 100%,
right.
I was not on board, but I have
right.
gotten. He has cheered me up a good bit. Like I do see it, and I do hear a lot of things I like you said, with the center and everything like that. So,
yeah.
The cost of losing Lamar Jackson.
Definitely...
Lamar Jackson. That's huge. So huge.
Jay says, mad over a preseason non-challenge. We're so back.
That's actually great. C3 Anthony, the offense being able to protect our QB is a good sign, considering they weren't able to hold up last preseason versus backup O-line. 100%.
Dude, I mean, just think about the feelings that we had last preseason coming into the regular season. I think we were really nervous, really concerned about what we had seen. Whereas this preseason, even though we've barely seen the starters, right, it just feels so different. It does feel more hopeful, cautiously hopeful. I feel like, most people aren't sitting here going, we've got the division on lock, Super Bowl, here we come, playoffs year one. No. Most people aren't saying that, which I think is good. I don't think those things are impossible. Maybe the Super Bowl one, but I don't think the potential division winner, things like that. I don't think that's impossible, but I think the expectations are more realistic, and I think we're going to give Canales a little bit of more leeway, a little bit more grace, knowing he's a first-time head coach, knowing that this is kind of a rebuild situation. I feel different, way different, going into the regular season this year than I did last year.
Yeah, and it feels like we have a coach that's willing to to kind of like bend his own philosophies to what helps works with the team. And I really hope the biggest fan of us all, or the one that has the biggest impact to the game, David Tepper,
Mm-hmm.
backs up and gives Canales freedom to move and do the things he needs.
Yeah. Yeah. Agreed. And yeah, we we kind of talked about this in our one-on-one session before we went live, but Plummer uh, looked like a completely different
Yeah.
player, right? Like he 21 of 29, 278, two touchdowns. He looked like he belonged. And again, playing the third and fourth string guys, a lot of these guys that they're playing against aren't going to make teams. But you could say the same thing about the last couple of games for him as well. Like this, he did look different in this game. There's
He
no doubt
100.
about it.
Yes.
He made throws that did not make the first couple of weeks, and he was able to escape some pressure more effectively. I thought he was really on point, and as Jerry and I said privately, we believe that he probably made the practice squad based on this game alone.
Yep. We will be right back to go over the stats and everything while Steven and I have to hang up and call back because we are out of time on our stream right now.
All right, talk to you in a minute.
Guys, I'm sorry you're getting to watch how the sausage is made. Our second stream is not going as great as our first one. We're learning.
Hello.
Hello. And we are still recording, it looks like. I don't know why it's not showing up on... Oh, there we are.
Are we still live?
I believe we are still live.
Okay. All right, good. We're back. Little blip, but we're back.
C3
one day,
Anthony says
one day
Bryce,
we'll be able to pay for Zoom, right?
One day. C3 Anthony, Bryce seemed like he was putting more zip on the ball. Yes, I agree with that. Great vanilla play designs by Canales by rolling him out. Yes, things like that didn't happen. Did not happen last year, and I'm so happy about it. Sexy Princess Writer. I think Plummer gives me hope because it shows Canales and Izidik, our offensive coordinator, identifying in-game problems, going through those problems in practice, and you'll see it executed in the game. Yeah. I mean, that's what
ability to adapt to situations, right? Something we did not see from Frank Reich. We saw a little bit from Matt Rule, but he always made the wrong choices, right?
Yeah.
And you know, not saying that Canales is going to come in here and be perfect. He's going to make mistakes as well, especially as a rookie head coach. But he's got the right mindset, and that's going to take him farther than anybody we've had since Ron Rivera. I have no doubt. I think this is our coach for the next 5 years at least.
I agree with that. So far, what I've seen, I'm really hoping that that's true. He seems to be... He at least gets it, and I think he's going to bond better with the younger players and stuff more than some of the previous coaches would.
Yeah, I mean, he just seems like a more team-centric guy, right? Mm-hmm. He's about the team winning and not about his way or the highway.
Correct.
Which one of us, right? We heard that, but with Rule, right? Like, you got to be one of us. Well, no, we're all together. Like, we're all going to be one team, right? Mm-hmm. No factions like we saw last year, you know, with the coaching staff where people are going behind each other's backs to tell on, you know, each other, things like that. You know, Canales got to come in, bring his guys, right? He wasn't forced to put together some all-star staff. He has the people that he knows can run his system. It's just, you know, it's good. It's the way to do it. And he and the GM on the same page when it comes to pickups and cuts and waiver, you know, claims and things like that. Like, all of this has come together in the way that it should, right? This is the way it should work.
Correct.
And this is the first time we've seen it work this way since David Tepper bought the team.
And I think that's the biggest jolt I think I'm having is I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop just because it seems to do every time. Let's look at the stats. I said we were
real quick. We did mention this in our pre-live session. Are we really shopping TMJ? If so, how do you feel? So that is, of course, a rumor that we've heard that TMJ is Terrace Marshall Jr. is being shopped for a potential trade. I think we put the price on him at like a 6th or 7th round pick max. Like I can't imagine they're getting anything more than that. Likely it's, you packaging TMJ with a pick to try and get another player. Like I think that would make the most sense, but
I think that would be fine with me. I think just trading TMJ to trade TMJ or Terrace Marshall Jr. would be dumb. I think he's shown that he has the ability, and right now Xavier Legette hasn't shown anything in preseason.
Right.
He's been injured. Why would you not want more capable receivers than not? Now, if you package him in a pick and you go get another premier top edge rusher, let me not say premier because we wouldn't be getting that.
You're not getting premier. Yeah.
But if you get a good quality edge rusher or corner, I get it. And I'd be fine. I'd be happy. But for a 5th or 6th round pick, you said 6th or 7th. No. Why? That pick's never going to be nearly what TMJ has the potential to be. And the ability to help Bryce this year, I think, is more important than next year's 6th round draft pick.
I think I'm on the same page. I mean, he's not making enough money to where cutting him is going to be that big of a difference, right? Mm-hmm. If you're only going to get a 6th or 7th round pick for it, I would not make the trade. I would just keep him around, make him inactive most weeks, but he's there if you need him, right? And maybe he discovers something. I thought he looked really good in his action in this game. He caught a touchdown, made a couple of moves to make some guys miss. He showed some flashes here and there, but if you can get another player at a position of need for him, then I would not have any problem saying bye. He just hasn't been what was advertised when he was brought in. He's had terrible coaching, right? He's had terrible coaching situations since he came in. So, you can't really blame him for that. But, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is with him. Change of scenery might be the best thing for him.
Yeah, and Sexy Princess Writer said Marshall plus Rams 2nd for Reddick. The problem with Reddick is he wants $30 million a year too. So
I don't know if we can afford Reddick.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like, we have a lot of money coming down the pipe, whether it's J.C. Horn or Chuba. If he breaks out, I doubt it, but
I mean, I think drafting Brooks probably says they're not going to invest a lot in Chuba.
Yeah,
but there are other there's other places they're going to have to spend money. So
edge rusher or
just one more thing before we get into the stats here. I thought Trevin Wallace was all over the place in this game. His name was called constantly. That pick is starting to look like a real steal.
Yes. I hated when they called him out saying, "Oh, look at Trevin Wallace," and then he missed a tackle for a touchdown. Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, well, that's just horrible timing." But right. I agree. Trevin Wallace looks like a guy that we can hopefully count on in the future.
Yeah, I mean, for a 3rd round pick, a bit undersized, I guess, is why he kind of dropped that far. But he seems to have good instincts, and he's very, pretty quick sideline to sideline. So I was really impressed with what I saw from him all off season. And this game, again, he's going to mess up here and there, but overall I thought pretty good.
Yeah, I agree. I love the pick now. You see him making those splash plays, and I'm just waiting for it to all click and slow down for him, probably next year or midway through the season. And then I think he's going to be a starter on this team sooner than later, I should say.
Yeah, I mean, you got 1 year left of Shaq, probably, right? So, All right, well let's take a look at the stats here. You want to kick it off?
Yes. Starting off here, we've already discussed Jack Plummer, 21 of 29, 278, 2 touchdowns, and Bryce Young, 6 of 8 for 70 yards and 1 touchdown. I think our quarterback play both look really good, to be honest with you, if not great. I mean, overall, 27 of 37, 340, and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, no interceptions, and nothing even. I don't think they had anything close to an interception. Plummer
No.
might have had one that was that could have been interception, but everything else looked really good. Bryce, there was no danger of interception from him. But yeah, I mean, 27 of 37, 340, and 3 touchdowns. That's pretty awesome.
Rushing, Jaden Sheridan, 13 for 35.
Not impressive.
Not impressive. Honestly, my NFL Plus, it didn't work, so I didn't get to watch the second half. All the second half, I just watched some highlights. Thanks, NFL. But yeah, once he was in, I was like, well, this guy's not even going to make the roster. He wasn't playing before. I can't imagine him making it now. Mike Boone, 4 for 25 yards. I mean, I think he's a practice squad guy. I don't see them keeping him unless they're moving Miles Sanders. Chuba looked good, 3 for 15. Miles Sanders, 3 for 6. Didn't look that great. Jack Plummer, 3 for -2. I didn't realize he had
kneel downs, maybe. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it definitely seemed like the impetus was on passing the ball in this game. 37 passes to 26 rushes, and 3 of those were Plummer. So it did seem like they had they knew what they wanted to do in this game. They wanted to get the ball in the air, and that's what they did. So not overly concerned. And again, I thought Chuba looked really good.
Yeah.
His 3 rushes, he hit holes, he ran strong. Sanders didn't see the same kind of holes, I don't think. So TBD on him, but definitely didn't look as good as Chuba.
Nope. Receiving wise, Jesper Horsted, 2 receptions, 63 yards on 2 targets. Then Jalen Coker, 3 for 55 yards and 1 touchdown. That was a beautiful throw by Plummer right in the breadbasket. Good job for Coker for beat against man. He was wide open.
Yep.
I mean, if you could show that play and say this is what you're going to get that out of both of them, that's perfect. I mean, that's...
Yeah, neither one of them likely to make the team, but maybe practice squad for both.
Terrace Marshall Jr., 3 for 39 in that touchdown. Again, I felt like he looked good, man. I think one of those was a pass breakup by the corner. But just overall, like, he looks good this preseason. Jaden Sheridan, 2 for 32. David Moore, 2 for 28. Jordan Matthews, 3 for 21 and 1 touchdown. I know in our personal chat we brought up the possibility of Jordan Matthews starting on this team. He's got to be our number 1 catching tight end right now, right?
I would say so. I mean, he started in this game. Now, of course, Thomas and Trimble are out, but so Sexy Princess Rider, they might keep Boone until Brooks come off pup. I mean, you've got Sanders, Chuba, and Blackshear. I don't know that they need 4 running backs, especially if you can use that spot somewhere else, but maybe. I mean, we talked about in our roster preview show the other day about do they keep three or 4 tight ends, right? I think you had 4, I had 3. I had Thomas being cut. We both had 3 running backs, with Brooks being on pup. So it just, as you kind of get towards those bottom spots on all the positions, I think you have to think, like, is it more important to have an extra corner? Is it more important to have an extra offensive lineman? Is it more important to have an extra running back? Those are the decisions they're going to have to make.
Yeah, and that's where it goes down to. Tony is asking about the tight ends and stuff like that. I think you got to – I'm hoping Canales has a good plan because I think 4 tight ends is reasonable. I don't know if you want to keep 5. But I think Jordan Matthews deserves to be on this roster. His sure hands in running those routes, I mean –
I would have him starting as the starting tight end going into the season, honestly.
The only reason why I don't easily say that is blocking is a big part of tight ends, and I don't know how good he is. Actually, you know what? I had the PFF grades. Let's look at his pass blocking this year. I'm looking towards the top. Jordan Matthews, his pass blocking was a 76.
It's not bad.
Nope.
It's not bad.
If
pass blocking becomes much easier for a tight end if your offensive line is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So we'll see. But yeah, if I had to make a guess, I'm saying I think that he lines up with the first team offense week 1.
Okay. I could see it.
I'm
not going to go through every player who caught a pass because that's a lot of guys.
That's a lot of guys. Yeah. A lot of guys made a pass.
Couple guys I wish I would have seen more from, but I just don't think they played much, is like Jonathan Mingo and Leggett. Leggett had that one drop pass. Man,
yeah.
Jack Plummer.
That was a good pass, too.
Jack Plummer, every time he got a good pass against our top receiver, they dropped the ball for him the first pass. Whether it was Mingo, Leggett, or Terrace Marshall, all dropped the first passes for him.
Yeah, how are you feeling about Leggett? I mean, shine a little bit off of him
shine is a little bit off him, mostly because I think a couple of the other players stepped up and have looked good. Jordan Matthews being one of them. I think Terrace Marshall looking good. I think Mingo has risen above what we were expecting out of him this season. So I think that's why the shine's off him. And he did play in any preseason games except this one and had one drop pass.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and he still could be, rounding back into shape after being hurt for a few weeks. So I'm not overly concerned, but I do think that his impact is going to be kind of minimal the first several weeks of the season, at least, as he, kind of learns the speed of the game and everything.
Yeah. Speaking of tight ends, Sexy Princess brings up Sanders. Yes, JT Sanders has looked good in my eyes because I wasn't expecting him to come out of the gates swinging, and he's looked solid out of the gates, in my opinion.
He looks reliable.
Yeah.
He's a big body that can catch the ball.
And I think being coached up and Canales being able to see what he does best and scheming that up will hopefully we'll see it improve throughout the year. Yeah,
agreed. Yeah, I mean we both love the pick, so I'm happy with what I've seen from him so far.
Defense wise, Rudy Ford had 6 total tackles. Jamie Robinson another 5 tackles. Trevin Walls 5 tackles. Chandler Wooten, Chris Wilcox, Claudin Chairless, Walter Palmore, and Luju Villian with 4. Any of those guys you want to talk about besides Travis Wallace?
Yeah, I mean Trevin Wallace we mentioned. I was really happy watching. I thought Jamie Robinson had a pretty good game. Deshaun Jameson, you didn't quite get to him yet, but he also returned a punt, I believe, or a kickoff. So he showed a little bit of versatility there, and I thought he played pretty well in the secondary as well. I haven't looked at the PFF grades or anything, but what did some of those guys? Anybody kind of jump off the page on PFF?
PFF, give me a second, I'll switch over. Yeah. But Jamie Robinson and Claudin Chairless, I am very curious if they make this roster because they have looked solid, but at the same time, they're both sitting there right on that bubble where you're curious if they do it or not. Because both of those are in positions that are some of the deepest we have, as weird as that sounds, because nothing is really that deep.
Yeah, it's a sliding scale.
Chandler Wooten was the best overall out of those players making tackles. He had a 70.3. Jamie Robinson was right below him with a 69.
Okay,
Giggity. Nice. One thing I did notice is the Panthers had a really low tackle grade.
And, well, yeah, I mean, especially in the second half there, some of those receivers were just shaking defenders out of their shoes. I mean, it was pretty ugly.
Yeah, because
at times
that's worrisome.
Yeah, but again, you're looking at by that time you're looking at fourth strings for us. Third and fourth string for us too. So.
Oh yeah, Quandre Mosley, 31 snaps was our lowest grade on defense.
Mm,
So,
okay. I don't
yeah,
even
he
see him
looks
in the
really bad
stats.
out there.
Yeah, he must not have gotten anything. Yeah, I mean, but otherwise, I thought the starters looked okay. Um, again, would have liked to have seen them just get a 3-and-out or something, but they only give up 3 points, so it's not the end of the world. They
Uh,
did mention that Eddie P had a bit of a hamstring issue towards the end of that game, so that's kind of why they went for it towards the end rather than kick a field goal. Um, they don't seem to be overly concerned about it. He did make a 45-yarder in this game, but something to maybe keep an eye on. If they bring in another kicker next week for camp, then you might start wondering about Eddie P's health.
I honestly, they probably will bring one in just to be on the safe side because they do have a week or so, 2 weeks before the season starts. And if it's a hamstring, you know how those lingers. I'd probably sit them and say, don't kick for a while. We'll have someone
take the
else
week
kicking.
off maybe.
Yeah.
Let's just really quickly look at Buffalo stats here. Danucci started the game 11 for 15, 76 yards and a touchdown. Anthony Brown Jr. came in 11 for 12, 102. Both of those guys pretty efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Gore Jr. 18 carries, 101 yards and a touchdown. The KJ Hamler 3 for 21 and a touchdown. Frank Gore Jr. undrafted rookie free agent. Of course, the son of future Hall of Famer Frank Gore. I thought he looked really good. He looked strong. He was hitting holes. He was fast. I think that guy is going to play in the NFL.
100%. I agree so vividly with that because what you just
Which is
said,
not a guarantee, by the way, for undrafted free agents. You guys think, oh, of course he's going to play in the NFL. He's Frank Gore Jr. Well, he wasn't drafted.
Yeah. He looked really good. If he is cut from Buffalo, which I don't foresee happening, someone's going to pick him up right away.
Yeah, we got #1 waiver spot. I'd take him over Boone,
Oh, exactly. I mean,
maybe even Blackshear.
I mean, it depends what you want. I think Frank Gore can be a full-time starter in this league, and I don't know if Blackshear could be. But Blackshear also offers that little scat back that I don't think Frank Gore really kind of offers.
Yeah, they're definitely different players.
Yeah.
But, Gore, I mean, in the preseason, 33 carries, 163 yards, and a touchdown. 4 receptions for 16 yards. I mean, he put up numbers when he was asked to get out there. He produced. Sorry, rest of the stats here. Evans 3 for 28, receiving. Deion Kane 3 for 28 also. Demir Bird out there got a catch for 20 yards.
I love seeing Demir Bird on different teams, man. I'm so glad for him.
Yeah. Defensively, they had Takori Couch led the team with 10 tackles, also had a sack. The other sack was Rondell Bothroyd. I mean, no interceptions to speak of for either team. Tyler Bass was 1 for 2 on field goals. Yeah, I mean, we're not going to go too deep into the stats here, but I liked what I saw from the Panthers, and the Bills. I don't know what other than Frank Gore Jr., what you really get out of this game for them.
No, and it's the same way, kind of the way we were watching the other two games, where it's like, these are the backups. I don't really know how much I need to put in stock into this.
Into the other team's backups, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
you wanna look at our confidence scale?
Sure. If you want to pull that up real quick.
Yeah, let me find our confidence scale. Talk about something while I do that, Jerry.
Oh, thank you.
What you always do to me.
Well,
vamp, Jerry.
Well, sometimes you'd like to talk, so I just kind of lean you into it. Man. Although, I'll look at the top offensive grades from PFF while you're looking at that. Top player was actually Jasper Horsted, our tight end. So he had a 95.2. Then Jack Plummer at 90.4. who played 56 snaps. So that's hats off for that good of a rating. Terrace Marshall Jr. then at third for 24 snaps, 87.4. Felipe Franks, another tight end that kind of looked good. I wouldn't be shocked if he made the practice squad either. 83.5. Then Bryce Young at number 5, 82.2. Jatavion Sanders and Jordan Matthews, Robert Hunt. I mean, these guys will be playing. Okay. The last few guys I just mentioned will be seeing significant playing time.
Yeah.
So,
agreed.
The biggest weakness as a starter, according to PFF, was Chuba Hubbard, which I don't, with a 61.8. For 10 snaps, I'm a little shocked, but okay.
Yeah.
Icky.
I can't find this thing. I don't know where it is.
Okay.
I don't think it exists. I think it's gone. Yeah, I like that though. I mean, yeah. What was Iggy's?
Icky's was like a 61 something. It was kind of low.
Okay.
It was right above.
I thought he looked okay though.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah.
Tony has a couple things here. What position or best available players could the front office be scouting for after waiver cuts? What positions? I think edge and corner are still primary, and I think O-line depth. I think if there's anybody that has somewhat of talent, either guard, center, or tackle, you sign you claim them right away. If you could afford.
Yeah, I mean, you got Dane Jackson, corner, is going to be out for the first several weeks. Of course, they just brought in Michael Jackson, but I don't think that precludes them from looking at that position for waiver cuts as well. With Xavier Woods being a little hurt, you might want to look at safety, although I feel pretty good about the safeties that are still out there. But that wouldn't surprise me. They brought in somebody for depth there. I mean, if it looks like Ian Thomas and Tremble might miss real time, that tight end could be somewhere where you look. I don't expect that. I would put that kind of towards the bottom of the need list. But edge rusher for sure, 100%. And offensive line depth, 100%.
Yep. Sexy Princess brought up Zavala looked really good. He held his own with the ones, and I agree. Maybe the scheme didn't fit him last year, and the whole chaos that was last year may have hurt his development. So
couldn't have helped.
Yeah,
could not have helped. Yeah, and I agree. He got a special call out from Canales after the game. Really, really like that.
Yeah. I do like how he always is very positive about his guys, and he'll let them know, like, hey, yeah, he did a great job. Yeah. His grade was actually a 71.6, so he really had a good one.
Better than a 0.
Yeah.
We saw from him last year.
All right. Heroes and zeros, or we're going to skip that with preseason?
No, let's do heroes and zeros. We should do that with a win.
Okay.
Go ahead.
For my hero, I'm going to give it out to Bryce Young. I felt like with everything, he knew the pressure was on to make this look really good for the preseason game. Or at least make it look confident. And I think he did that. I think it calmed a lot of Panther fans down. I think it calmed the biggest Panther fan probably in the front office down. Maybe not to be throwing water at other people or other drinks.
Right. Yeah, I got 2. My first one's going to be Jordan Matthews. He has come in and done everything he possibly can to make this team. He's looked good, and I think he's succeeded. I think he will make this team. He got the touchdown with Bryce. Just being that, outlet, right? That just in case things break down, Jordan Matthews is going to be there. And then Dave Canales. I'm going to give Dave Canales because, as we talked about, I don't know if we talked about it while we were live or not, but kind of changing up the game plan a little bit, knowing that Corbett wasn't going to be in there and you were going to have Raymond at center and then Damian Lewis wasn't going to be there. They kind of brought Bryce back into the pistol and the shotgun a little bit more. They changed the game plan based on personnel. Go figure. Right? They did the best they could to make sure that the center to quarterback exchange worked. So I'm going to go Canales as a hero. Again, I just like the direction the franchise is going under him. I think he deserves it.
Yeah. My Life, My Story says, brought up Andrew Ram. He held his own for being an undrafted guy who started this game. 100%. That was someone I didn't even think of, but yes, he held his own. He looked good. It's that whole starting line, I thought, looked pretty solid. Like, yes, there was some leaks, but for the most part, I felt very solid on it, or happy with them.
Question: What was Boodle's PFF grade? If you still have that pulled up.
Yeah, I'm keeping it up just because I'm bouncing back to see how many snaps people played. Yeah. He was a 63.8, number 15 on the team. His lowest area was run defense, so his coverage was a little bit better. So
I thought I saw him got shaken pretty bad on one pass play. I'm trying to think of my zeros here. Do you have one off the top of your head that you're ready to go with?
I do not, actually. I didn't think anybody really deserved a zero off this thing. Sexy Princess, I like her zero is Eddie Pinero's hamstring because our kickers always get hurt in Buffalo.
Yeah, that's right. Gonzalez got hurt.
Yeah.
Zane. Yeah, sure. Let's go with that.
Yeah. Sexy Princess, you win the zero award. Well, not the zero award for yourself, but yes, you named our zero because that's perfect.
We'll take that. All right. Anything else?
I think that's going to do it, except for I apologize for the,
Yeah, issue. This one might sound a little weird if you just watch the YouTube video. I'm not sure how I'm going to fix this on the podcast, but we'll figure it out.
I don't know how I'm going to do it on the video unless I just let the live thing go, but
we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure this out.
Yes. Yeah. This is our preseason 2. Hey, if you like it though, I love the fan interaction. I really do.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's a lot of fun. I'm hoping we can do it after games on Sundays. We'll obviously have to check with each other and make sure, but I do think that this is something going forward that we will continue to do. It's a lot of fun. I love seeing the same people, and I love seeing new people too. I'm glad cool. You guys get to have, a voice. It's fun. As long as we're all having fun and no name calling and going completely negative, we could be critical.
There you go. And we're going to figure out ads and stuff. We're going to try to get those turned off during the stream if you guys saw any of those. We're still figuring it out. This is the first time either one of us have done anything like this. So we're going to make it work for y'all.
Yeah.
For sure.
We want to thank everyone for listening. If you like the show, please let your friends know. Please follow us on Twitter at MeowMix Podcast. If you have any questions or comments, you can email us at mailbag@meowmixpodcast.com. Please like and subscribe on YouTube.
We will be back. We'll talk about the 53 when that gets finalized here this week, and any waiver claims, anything we see like that. Football is back. Could not be more excited. And until next time, everybody stay safe out there and keep pounding.